Hi, hello, welcome to my YouTube lectures. This is Professor Razu Rolakanti, Department of ECE, St. Peter's Engineering College, and UGC Autonomous Engineering College, Hyderabad. As you know, I am going to explain electromagnetic field theory. In electromagnetic field theory, I am explaining the topics in Unit 2, magnetostatics. Today's topic is Ampere's circuital law. Ampere's circuit law is very important law in magnetostatics. In electrostatics, the Gauss law is useful to obtain the electric field intensity, that is E bar, in case of complex problems. Similarly, in the magnetostatics, the complex problems can be solved using a law called Ampere's circuital law or Ampere's work law or Ampere's circuit law. The Ampere circuit's law states that the line integral of magnetic field intensity around a closed path is exactly equal to the direct current enclosed by that path. You see here, mathematically we can represent this one as closed integral h bar dot dl bar is equal to I, that is current carried by the conductor. This is a DC current. This law is very useful to determine the magnetic field intensity, that is h bar, when the current distribution is symmetrical. Let us prove this Ampere circuit law, that is closed integral h bar dot dl bar is equal to I. What is I? I is the current carried by the conductor. This current is a DC current, direct current. As shown in the figure, you see a long straight conductor carrying a direct current I that is placed along z axis. Then consider a closed circular path of radius rho. Of course, some people take this one as r, some people say it is rho. In my lecture, I am taking rho r simultaneously, don't worry about it, which encloses the straight conductor carrying direct current I. The point P is at a perpendicular distance rho from the conductor. After that, consider dl bar at point P, which is in a pi bar direction, that is tangential to the circular path at point P as shown in the figure. Therefore, dl bar is equal to rho d phi a phi bar. While magnetic field intensity, that is h bar, obtained at point P from Biot-Savart's law due to infinitely long conductor, that is we know, we studied the h bar obtained at point P to infinitely long conductor by using Biot-Savart's law is h bar is equal to I by 2 pi rho a phi bar. Therefore, if I want to do h bar dot dl bar, that is equal to I by 2 pi rho a phi bar dot rho d phi a phi bar. As we know, a phi bar dot a phi bar is equal to 1. Therefore, this equation becomes I by 2 pi rho d phi. This rho get cancels. Therefore, I by 2 pi d phi we are going to get. This is h bar dot dl bar is equal to I by 2 pi d phi. Integrating this h bar dot dl bar over the entire closed path. That closed path is known as Amperian path. Therefore, integral h bar dot dl bar is equal to integral the limits of pi r from 0 to 2 pi, as we know. I by 2 pi d phi is equal to I phi 2 pi. After integration, phi comes 0 to 2 pi are the limits. Substituting these limits, we are going to get I 2 pi by 2 pi. Here 2 pi get cancels. We are going to get I, that is current carried by conductor. This proves that the integral h bar dot dl bar along a closed path gives the direct current enclosed by that closed path. This is the proof of the Ampere's circuit law. The path enclosed the direct current need not be a circular path, and it may be any irregular shape. The law does not depend on the shape of the path, but the path must enclose the direct current once. This path selected is called Amperian path, similar to the Gaussian surface used while applying Gauss law. I want to give you some steps how to find out this Ampere's circuit's law. Certain steps I want to tell you for finding this Ampere's circuit law are, I want to divide all these steps into step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4 or step 5. The step 1 is consider a closed path, preferably symmetrical, such that it encloses the direct current I at least once. This is called Amperian path. That means select the Amperian path. That is the step 1. Consider differential length dl depending upon the coordinate system used. The coordinate system, Cartesian coordinates or cylindrical coordinates or spherical coordinate systems. Depending upon the coordinate system, depending on the problem, you have to adapt the coordinate system. Step 2 is adapt the coordinate system. Step 3, identify the symmetry and find in which direction magnetic field intensity, that is h bar, exists according to the coordinate system used. Step 4, find h bar dot dl, that is dot product. Make sure that dl bar and h bar in the same direction. Step 5, find the integral of h bar dot dl bar around a closed path assumed and equate it to current I enclosed by the path. Solving this for the magnetic field intensity, that is h bar, we get the required magnetic field intensity due to the direct current. To apply Ampere's circuit's law, two conditions must be satisfied. The first condition is the h bar magnetic field intensity is either tangential or normal to the path at each point of the closed path. The second condition is the magnitude of h bar must be same at all points of the path where h bar is tangential. This plays an important role while solving the Ampere's circuit's law. Now let us do Ampere's circuit law. From the Ampere's circuit law, we can get Maxwell's equation. We know that Ampere's circuit law states that the line integral of the tangential component of H around a closed path is same as the net current enclosed by the path. In other words, the circulation of h bar d equals to I enclosed, that is integral h bar d bar dl bar is equal to I enclosed. Let this is equation 1. By applying Stokes theorem to the left hand side of equation 1, we obtain I enclosed is equal to closed integral. It is a line integral here. H dot dl, h bar dot dl is a line integral. What is the Stokes theorem? Stokes theorem converts line integral to the surface integrals. Therefore, converting this line integral to the surface integral, we are going to get integral as del cross h dot ds. We know previously that I is equal to surface integral j dot ds. Here, by seeing these two equations 2 and 3, I enclosed is equal to surface integral del cross h dot ds. Moreover, I enclosed is equal to surface integral j dot ds. Therefore, we can equate these two. We can compare them. Comparing the surface integrals in equations 2 and 3, the results gives that del cross h is equal to j. Del cross h is equal to j is the Maxwell's equation. Del cross h is equal to j, that is not equal to 0, means magnetostatic field is not conservative. This is the proof of the magnetic from Ampere's circuit law. This is Maxwell's proof. Now let us go for applications of Ampere's law. We will consider an infinite line current, after that an infinite current sheet, and infinitely long coaxial transmission lines. These are the three cases we are going to discuss under the topic of applications of Ampere's law. You see, now let us discuss infinite line current. You see here, I am taking a straight long current carrying conductor. I is the current that is flowing through a conductor. That conductor is situated in a z direction. You see, I have selected an Amperean path so that passes through the point of interest P, where I want to find out h bar, magnetic field intensity. It is a perpendicular distance from the conductor. Therefore, perpendicular distance is rho. So the center of the Amperean path is 0. Therefore, I am taking a dl, a small length, differential length on this Amperean path. The current passing through this conductor is in the z direction is I. Considering an infinitely long filamentary current along z axis and finding the h bar at an observation point by allowing a closed path that is passing through the P. This path is known as Amperean path, as we discussed. We choose a concentric circle as the Amperean path, which shows that h bar is constant provided P is constant. Since this path encloses the whole current I, therefore, according to Ampere's law, we can say that I enclosed equal to h phi a phi dot rho d phi a phi. Because h is in the direction tangential to that Amperean path, that is a phi bar. After doing integration, h phi is constant. of taking out integral rho d phi. As we know, a phi dot a phi is 1. We are going to get this one h phi into integral rho d phi. That is equal to h phi 2 pi rho. Integral of rho d phi comes 2 pi rho. Suppose if we are taking n number of turns, h is equal to ni by 2 pi rho for rho naught minus a less than rho naught plus a. An approximate value of h bar is equal to Ni by 2 pi rho naught, or simply Ni by L. Now let us consider infinite sheet of current. See in the figure, the infinite sheet is in z is equal to 0 plane. You can also see that the current is flowing in y direction. Therefore, K is equal to Ky Ay. I am selecting an Amperian path 1, 2, 3, 4, that is in xz plane. 1, 2, 3 and 4, 1, it is a closed path. The distance between 2 to 3 is b. Distance between 3 to 4 is a, width and height of the Amperian path. You see here at point 1, that is on x-axis, and point 2 is on x-axis. Those two are going inside. 2, 1 and 2 are going inside, and 3 and 4 are coming outside. As we are going to, inside is designated as circle dot. Consider an infinite current sheet in z is equal to 0 plane. If the sheet has a uniform current density K is equal to Ky Ay, the units of uniform current density is amperes per meter. By applying Ampere's law to the rectangular closed path, that is known as Amperian path, that gives a closed integral h bar dot dl bar is equal to I enclose you, that is equal to Kyb. Let this is equation 1. The resultant dh has only an x component. Also, h on one side of the sheet is in the negative of that on the other side. h on one side of the sheet is negative, and the other side is like this. Due to infinite extent of the sheet can be regarded as consisting of such filamentary pairs, so that the characteristics of H for a pair are same for the infinite current sheet. Therefore, H is equal to H naught AX if Z is greater than 0, minus H naught AX if Z is less than 0. Amperian path is some half is in Z is greater than direction, some half is Z is less than direction. Z is greater than 0 means H naught is positive. Z is less than 0 means H naught is negative. Evaluating line integral of H bar in equation 2 along the closed path, that gives integral H bar dot dl bar is equal to integral 1 to 2 plus integral 2 to 3 plus integral 3 to 4 plus integral 4 to 1 h dot dl. By seeing this, we are going to have all these values: 0 minus a plus minus h naught minus b plus 0 a plus h naught b. We are going to have 2 h naught b. From equations 1 and 3 we obtain h naught is equal to 1 by 2 ky. Substituting h naught in equation 2 gives h is equal to h naught ax minus h naught ax here. Substituting, we are getting half ky ax when z is greater than 0 minus half ky az when z is ax when z is 0 less than 0. In general, for an infinite sheet of current density K, H is equal to half K cross an bar, where an is a unit normal vector directed from the current C to the point of interest. Now coming to the third observation, infinitely long coaxial transmission line. You see in figure we can have a cross section of transmission line. The positive z direction is out of the phase. You see here dielectric is placed between these two, and the inner one having a diameter radius a, that is conductor, that is positive. Outer conductor there is a negative one. The length of this coaxial line is L. You can see that. Consider an infinitely long transmission line consisting of two concentric cylinders having their axis along z-axis. The cross section of the line is shown in the figure where z-axis is out of the phase. The inner conductor has radius A and carries current I, while the outer conductor has inner radius B and the thickness T and carries return current minus I. You have to observe the current on inner one is plus I, the current on outer conductor is minus I. The directions are opposite to each other. To determine HA everywhere, assume that current is uniformly distributed in both the conductors. That is one assumption. Since the current distribution is symmetrical, we apply Ampere's law along the Ampere's path for each of the four possible regions. What are the four possible regions? Rho value lies between 0 to A, that is inner, or rho value considered from A to B, or rho value from B to B plus T and greater than B plus T. We have to consider like that. For region where rho is from 0 to A, we apply Ampere's law to path L1. I enclosure is equal to closed integral L1 h bar dot dl bar is equal to integral j dot ds. Since the current is uniformly distributed over the cross section, therefore J is equal to I by pi a square Az. Moreover, according to the cylindrical coordinates, ds is equal to rho d rho d phi Az, we know. Substituting these two in equation 1, I enclosed is equal to integral j dot ds is equal to I by pi a square double integral rho d rho d phi. That comes I by pi a square pi rho square. That is pi cancels, that is equal to I rho square by a square. Hence equation 1 becomes h phi integral dl, where dl is 2 pi rho, integral dl is 2 pi rho, that is equal to I rho square by a square. Therefore h phi is equal to I rho by 2 pi a square. The further region rho value is from A to B. We must use L2 in L2 as the Amperean path. Then I enclosed is equal to integral L2 h bar dot dl is equal to I. H pi 2 pi rho is equal to I. Therefore h phi is equal to I by 2 pi rho. Since the whole current I is enclosed by L2, next coming to B to B plus T, the region between B to B plus T, we assume L3. Therefore I enclosed is equal to integral L3 h bar dot dl bar is equal to h phi 2 pi rho. Therefore I enclosed is equal to I plus integral j dot ds. Rho is the current density, that means current per unit area of the outer conductor, and is that is along the z axis. That is J is equal to I by pi into B plus T whole square minus B square by Az. that comes by taking this one, we are, after doing all these integrations, we are going to have pi is equal to I by 2 pi 1 minus p square minus b square by t square 2bt. For the region greater than b plus t, we use this one. H dot dl is equal to I minus Ia, that is equal to 0. H phi is equal to 0. We can summarize all these coaxial things in a graphical way. We can understand that one. H is equal to I rho by 2 pi a square a phi for 0 to a. Rho value is from 0 to a, that is inner conductor. I by 2 pi rho a phi, that is from a to b. I by 2 pi rho into 1 minus rho square minus b square by t square 2bt into a phi, that is b to t, b plus t, are greater than this one. By seeing the observations, this is up to a, it goes linearly. From a to b, it decreases because it's a square, and b to bz further decreases. Beyond the bz, it is becoming 0. These are the observations from this graph. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you.